Hi, we're going to find out what type of trader you are and whether you can trade it with a day job. And a warm welcome to one and all. And for those of you who have not seen me before, my name is Langers and I am the overgrown child that is the Scruffy trader. No shock looking at my screen and my desk. And what I'm trying to do is kind of inspire you with your own trading. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, please click the like button, smash the little subscribe, and if you are subscribed, make certain the bell icon is turned on. So what am I doing today? Well, it's kind of a little experiment for a few of the guys that I connect with, and especially sort of to Yoxie. So a salute to you, my friend, because when I was talking to you, it's kind of the inspiration to today's video. And while I was having a coffee and having a bit thinking about this, I thought the only way to really show how to work around a day job is to trade it as if I was working around a day job. So that's what the trading video section of this is going to be. It's me checking the charts on the top of each hour and working our way through, and it's kind of there behind me, and little snippets of why I'm doing things at certain times. And it literally takes about 2 minutes at the top of each hour. Simple stuff. But in order to understand what I'm about to show you, you kind of need to figure out what kind of trader you are. And I'll jump on the whiteboard and we'll have a look. And then when I've done that, I'll drop it down onto the trading screens and you can see the trade throughout the day, where it's being taken, why it's being taken, but more importantly, how it's being managed. And we'll take it from there. So grab your coffee, because I've got mine, and let's jump on the whiteboard. Okay guys, so as I was saying, you have to kind of figure out what type of trader you are. And I genuinely believe that there is 4 disciplines.
No way!
So what we have to do now is figure out what type of trader you are. And your personality trait comes into that quite a bit. And that helps you decide which one of the 4 you are best suited for. But for the case of this exercise, we're looking at trading around a day job. So the first question you need to be looking at yourself is actually my favourite quote. And it's this: know thyself. And the full quote is, know thyself, it is the beginning of wisdom. And it's a very old quote from, well, forever, from Greek history. Anyway, but what does it mean? What does it mean to a trader? Well, if you know yourself, you can figure out the type of trades you like. If you're impatient and you need a lot of action all the time, then you're kind of drawn to being a scalper. But is that profitable? We'll discuss that in a moment. If you have a little bit of patience and you can sort of see the bigger picture slightly, then a day trader is the better. And then the more patient you are, swing trader, and infinite patient is position trader. Or you can have a combination of them all to offset your personalities. So let's explore what the disciplines are, and then you can see if you can fit it into your lifestyle, because your lifestyle plays a lot into it as well. Because if you've got lots of time, you can be a scalper day trader because you can sit in front of the charts all day. If you haven't got a lot of time, even whether you've got an itchy trigger finger or not, you just haven't got the time, then you become a swing trader. And if you've got no time whatsoever, then it's a position trader or end of day trader. So let's break down the charts that you check to get your ideas and your entry chart, your trading chart. So let's have a look. So what's the anchor chart of a scalper? You know, what do you check to see your trade? Well, I think you'd be checking the 1 hour and the 15 minute. So you'd be looking at them, getting a gauge of the market, where you think the market is potentially going to go, and you're going to enter on a 5 minute, or if you're really into it, 1 minute, but mainly a 5 minute. So you'll be trading a 5 minute chart. Now, is that profitable? It is if you're good at it, but not if you do it all day. You see, the industry portrays it that is the way trading is. It's done within 5 minutes. You're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. And all of this, and sadly, that's not the case. It's more akin to going to the casino is as much chance of winning with that. But let's just say you're a day trader. Now, I'm a day trader. I'm also quite patient, but I'm looking for 1-2 trades a day. So my sort of anchor chart, if you like, is a 4 hour and a 1 hour. So I get a broad stroke from the higher time frames, but I'm mainly looking at the 1 hour. And then my entry, my trading chart, is a 15 minute. Okay. So if I'm working a day job, I can kind of do day trading as long as I have access to the screens every single hour. If I don't have access to them on an hourly basis, then I can't. And I don't even need to drop to a 15 minute. I could just look at the hourly candle and then make a decision. Okay. And you'll see that when I'm on the charts in a moment, because that's what you do if you've got access to a chart during the day. But let's say you don't. You can only look at it 2 or 3 times a day if you're lucky. Then by definition, you're a swing trader, because of the charts you need to look at. You'll be looking at a day chart and a 4 hour, and the entry has a chance to be on the 1 hourly chart if you've got time to check it. If not, you'll be entering on the 4 hour. But if you've got no time at all, say you work 12-hour shifts, you know, you can't really work a 12-hour shift, sleep for 8 hours, and then spend the rest of the time on the charts. You just have no time. So you become a position trader, and that is really long term. You will put your trade on once, might even just do it on a Sunday afternoon, and forget about it. Simple as that. So what charts do you check to get your ideas? Well, it's the month and the weekly. So you're looking at the monthly, the weekly, get the overall trend, all of this, and then you will enter last thing at night on a day chart. So I'll just put that there. So they're kind of the 4 disciplines that I believe trading is. Now, if you're working, can you be a position trader? Yeah, of course you can. It's almost a slam dunk. It's easy. Check it last thing at night or same time every day, say 8 o'clock at night. Easy. Can you be a swing trader? Of course you can. You know, check it. Maybe it's twice a day or 3 times a day. It's a 4-hour candle. So it's 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock at night. Very easy. Myself, I do swing trading. I only look at the charts twice a day. I look at it at 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm reading the news, etc. And I look at it at 8 o'clock at night. Nice and simple. So that can easily be traded around a day job. Can you day trade around a day job? Yes and no. And it comes back to the type of job that you have. Because if you try to trade it on a phone, forget it.
You serious?
Unless you've already done your analysis and all you're waiting for is the price to come to a certain area for you to get in, you're wasting your time. Trying to trade on a phone is a nightmare. You can't see the big picture. You can't do any analysis. It's only good for monitoring trades, right? So you need a screen. If you have a desk job and you can flick onto it for 2 minutes while you're working, then yes, you can be a day trader, you know, but you don't want it to be impacting on your job. So you have to be a bit careful. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a question mark on that one. And then finally, can you be a scalper and have a day job? Well, the answer is no, you can't. You haven't got the time to monitor the charts. You certainly haven't got the time to babysit them. And if you were scalping while you're working, I'm pretty sure your boss won't be too happy.
Isn't that logical?
So that's my definition of the trades. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over onto the screens. So it's a simulated working environment, if you like. So let's jump onto the charts.
Well, we're waiting.
Okay guys, so it's early morning and I'm going to come on the screens just like what I said and simulate a working day. Now it's 7:45, so I'll kind of be leaving for the office now. I'm assuming that most people can't really trade up until around lunchtime. So the way I work this is I'm going to assume you have no time during the day apart from lunchtime, which we'll call 12 o'clock because that's when a 4-hourly candle ends, and you'll be able to maybe get a little snippet for 2 minutes at 4 o'clock this afternoon before you come home. So you're only really getting 2 opportunities to check the charts throughout the day. And the easiest way that I find to do this is if I flip this over, I work everything out on a strength sheet. As you all know, I already know what my watch list is before I'm going into work because I've checked that this morning before I've left the house. So I'm looking at the Euro CAD, and obviously your crowd favourites as always, which is the DAX, the FTSE, cable, euro, dollar. They'll always be in your basket. So at 12 o'clock when I come to the charts, I look to see if any one of them can trade. If they can, I'll place a trade in front of you and then we'll run it through. If I can't trade them, then I have to wait till 4 o'clock, see what the situation is then. If it's ready, I will then trade it in front of you at 4 o'clock. And if not, it'll be at 6 o'clock when I get home in the evening, and I'll be able to drop the charts down to a lower time frame, but I'll still only be looking no less than the hourly chart. And that way it helps. And the reason being is the markets slow down quite a bit after 5 o'clock at night. And there's no point trying to use short-term entries after 5. You want to be looking at longer entries because the chances are it's going to run overnight. So I hope that kind of makes sense, and I'll see you when I get to the office. Okay guys, so here we are. This is our working day simulation, if you want to call it that. Let's go over onto the chart of choice, which is the Euro CAD, as said this morning. Now, when I was looking at this earlier on, I did pop a trade idea out to the guys on the Scruffy squad so they can actually see it well in advance. But for the course of this exercise, I said I would trade it as if I am looking at it working. So it is if I can have a quick look at this banner, it should be saying that's the 9 o'clock candle. So if I drop this down onto 5 minutes, there you go, 12 o'clock. All right, so lunch break, if you want to call it that. So we're using our 4 hour is our overall point of attraction. Now that is a wonderful drive up. It is superb. But how do I figure out where to get into the market? Because we can see it's pushing up and it can easily squeeze onto that level. But it is showing a little bit of kind of indecision, if you like. Okay. So what we are looking to do is see if this will come back slightly. Okay, I think this is going to move down to the downside. Now what I can do is I can put an order at the base of it to get to here. Now that would give me, let's have a look, measuring tool, about 20 pips, ticks, whatever you want to call it. And that's not a bad target. This is the overall. Now another way, just calm it down just so we can actually get it fine-tuned that little bit better. You've often seen me on a 5-minute chart do a candle count back. We can do a similar thing here, so you can see it's pushed up, it's tried to go down, it's smacked into there, and it's on its way back up. We are seeing rejections here, but all the tails are to the top side, so you don't want to be chasing the market at this point. Now we can have an order up here, so when it gets there it sells and then moves down. Kind of a good way to go, but I prefer the market to come to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the bases of these as an entry point, these two here, because I genuinely think if it just runs away and keeps going up to there, then that's fine. I'll look at it again at about 4 o'clock. This candle, 4-hour candle on this platform, because of daylight saving, has now shifted over an hour, so it's not going to close out till 1 o'clock. So I'm a little bit early, so I'll have to stick with the hourly. So the hourly is there. I'm going to put an order there. Just down here, out of the way. So it's got to come down, and I'm going to put a target down there. And that is it. And I'll just leave it. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to let that play out. I'm going to assume that I am on a lunch hour so that I can leave the chart on. So I'll watch it up till 1 o'clock. After 1 o'clock, I can't touch it again till break time, which is about 4. Okay, and then after 4, I'll be able to see it again about 6 o'clock. Well, that kind of makes sense. But basically what I'm driving at is use your higher time frames just to get a gauge of the market. And because it's a working environment, the chances of being able to trade throughout the day using 5 and 15 minute is not going to happen. So we have to use the hourly for your entry, and leave it on a 4-hour for your overall idea. And as you can see, it's there. So that's a reasonable proposition. So I'll just leave it to run. I'll check it quickly at about 1 o'clock before I start the day job, and then again later on. Okay guys, so little update before we go off to work again. What are we looking at here? Well, it is now come into our order. It's put us into profit and it's moving nicely down. So we're going to leave the target as is. Actually, what we can do is have a quick look. No, I think it's a reasonable target, so we're just going to leave it to run and let it get on with it. So its candle closes at 9 o'clock because this one opened at 5. So what we'll do is we will revisit it at 1 o'clock this afternoon and see if it's either in profit, loss, closed out, and manage it. And it's literally as simple as that, guys. And that's all we do on a daily basis. This is a swing trade. Doesn't take a lot of managing. You just kind of let it get on with it.
No way.
Okay, guys. So we're still in the trade. It's 5:30, and it almost went to this level. Now I could have pulled it, but obviously this is an exercise in swing trades and a day job, which is why I'm just letting it run. Has it broken any key levels? Well, no, it hasn't. As long as it doesn't crack this high, we are good. And it is still on line to come down here. So we'll let it run overnight. I'll see you in the morning. Okay guys, so it's 1 o'clock. Time for our little check to see how it's going, and then we'll do it again at 5 o'clock when I get home tonight. So where are we at this moment in time? Well, from yesterday it hasn't moved a great deal. Still chopping about, but it's going in the right direction and it's in profit, so we just let it go. Simple stuff. Drop it back to the 4-hour candle so you can see what's going on, and sure enough you can see it's starting to sell off and break down. There is a roadblock here which may cause a bit of a stumbler, but at this moment in time it's still pushing down, so quite happy to let it get on with what it's doing, and I'll see you at tea time. Okay guys, so this is Friday the 9th of April. So as you've seen, this trade's been running a few days, and it's kind of the beauty of swing trades, if you like. But it's been peaceful, and as you can see on the screen, there is no P&L. And why is that? Because it came into target this afternoon, 1:30. So what you've seen me do over the course of the last few days is monitor on a morning, monitor on a night. As long as it's roughly doing what you want it to do, just let it get on with it. And it literally is as simple as that. Now these were taken from a 4-hourly and kind of monitored on a 1-hour, as we are seeing here. And you can see the target point just slams straight into it. Can't really make it any clearer than that. But that's basically how to trade round a day job. Because, let me switch this on, see my ugly mug. Oh, because it's been a rough week this week, guys. It really has been a rough week. But that's life. Sometimes life gets in the way. So doing this little exercise has actually been quite good for me, because it's meant I haven't had to be a slave to the screens as much, and it's allowed me to do other things. This week is the beginning of a new financial year for myself and for Winky's business. So there's a lot of preparation needs to go into this week. In other words, tie off the last year, get your accounts ready for the accountant. So when you're doing swing trades like this, it really does pay off and free you up. And even if you are sort of living a wage from trading, or you're retired and you want some extra capital, you don't have to be in front of the screen all the time. Most trades are best being left alone. And there was something that was said to me a while ago, and I tend to agree with it. If you place a trade, you should have your hard stop. Doesn't matter how wide it is or whatever, but you should have a hard stop and a rough idea of where you're going to get out. You know, if you're staging, you can have your predetermined take profit points and then leave one to run as far as it can go, if that's what you want to do. Or just have take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. Switch this machine off and it's going to hit one or the other. So it's either going to stop you out or it's going to hit your targets. Now, if you can't walk away from the screen because you want to see it and you need to micromanage it and one thing and another, there's two parts to that. One, the trade is probably substandard in the first place and you're frightened of it. And secondly, your position's too big and it's got you frightened as well, because fear of the markets is a big thing. And to put a trade on and walk away from it is quite difficult. And the only way you make it easier is if it's not painful. And the way not to make it painful is make certain your position size is equal. As you saw in this, I only put a $5 a point on, whereas normally I could be more than that with day trading. And there is a reason between them. When I swing trade, I pull my positions down to normally about half, because the hit rate is lower, but the expectation can be bigger, as you've just seen here. Because normally I'll go £5 at 10 pips, get 50 quid. Here I'm getting 250 from the same $5, but that's because I was letting it run. Hope that makes sense of sorts. So cap the week off, but ultimately if you are working a day job, look at the higher time frames for your trade idea, i.e. your daily and your 4 hour, and use an hour for your entry or even a 4 hour for your entry, and set and forget. And just check it last thing at night, like what we've been doing this whole week. Hope that makes sense. If you want to learn more and you're stuck, by all means contact me. All my contact details are in the description. And if you're interested in the Scruffy squad and all that sort of thing, it's a great community to talk with other guys that are of a like-minded nature, but also learn a trick or two along the way. So with everything, hope you're all safe and well. And as always, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.